Alright, class. This chapter was about enterprise perspective. So, in this chapter, we went over kind of the things that a company needs to do in order to have an enterprise perspective, which will ultimately um, give the company success. So, I talked about how a company needs to overcome a fractured system, not just meaning with analytics, but with all their operations. They need to be able to work as a whole and not just have different divisions doing completely different things, but they need to all work together to obtain the main goal of the company. So in this chapter, it explains why this is important. Um, and it's really important to understand why these things are important, because when we want to make when we have a vision for ourselves, for our own personal lives, and these principles to having an enterprise or a vision directed more towards the future, and to ultimately to achieving your ultimate goal. These tools are really important in helping us to obtain that goal. And so when you have this kind of vision, it gives you perspective to important key factors. It allows you to figure out the cause and effect relationships that will help you to obtain what you need. It gives direction for your company. It also, one thing that I thought about when I was reading this chapter was uh, how there was duplication of efforts done for a long time with the genealogy efforts, until they created a system where they could really get things more effectively and efficiently done. And unified efforts often cut costs and improve efficiency. Also reduces complexity. And so, also in this chapter, we review how much integration and coordination are needed for enterprise analytics. What does this mean? This means that when you're doing something, you think about who else would want this information or who would need it, and then that allows you to understand and know what you need to share. And so you can prepare it in a way that will be easily accessible and that will help the other people that need it. So this our whole course is about management and working with IT, and they actually overview some of the roles of IT managers that potentially we will play, but they also give tips and kind of review how you should work with ITs and what you should expect. So that's really important. They had some really good insights that I found. We also in this chapter talk about some of the software companies and how the software can effectively help you to take the information that you've gathered and to present it and to organize it analytically. And really, this chapter was all about having a perspective that encompasses your whole enterprise, and in this chapter it also talks about each of the steps from 1 to 5 of moving and progressing your enterprise. But those same principles can be applied to our personal lives, and we hear so often that we need to set goals, that we need to have a eternal perspective, and really this chapter talks about how you can get those tools and use those tools and gauge your improvement and your progression. And so I really like this chapter. I would definitely recommend reading it. It's a good one.